Welcome to the Monday Morning Jumpstart. Hi, my name is Rory Peters, and I'm the founder of the Grow Your Business Like You Mean It live event. I'm a speaker, a sales and leadership trainer, and the author of Sell Like You Mean It. This week, we're going to talk about listening. There's a book that I strongly recommend you read if you haven't already. It's from Stephen R. Covey, and the book is called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. One of the habits that Stephen talks about is this: seek first to understand and then to be understood. What he's talking about is proactive listening, where before you ever try to make the other person understand your point of view, you do everything you can to fully understand their point of view. That you proactively listen to them and try to take in what their pain points are, or what their problems are, or what their point of view is, so that you understand it as well as they do, and that you're able to repeat back their point of view to the degree that the other person believes you fully understand what they're trying to say. Then you can step forward to make your point of view. There's a story he tells in the book about a salesman who's trying to close a sale, and he's competing against other salespeople. So he now has his time to be able to make the sales pitch. And he's going forth in the process and trying to get the customer to see how his product, his service, is the right solution for them. And it's not going well at all. He doesn't feel like he's making any connection with the customer whatsoever. And they decide to take a quick break. So during the break, he's thinking to himself, this is done. I'm not getting the sale. This isn't going to happen. And he just kind of sits back and just tries to relax a bit. And all of a sudden, he remembers what he read in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Seek first to understand and then be understood. So when they get back into the meeting, the first thing he says is, I want to really understand what you're trying to say, what your issues are, and what you'd like to do to try to solve them. So here's what I believe you're trying to say. And then he repeated back what he believed the customer's point of view was, what issues they had, what problems they were trying to solve. And when he was done, he said, do I have it correct? And the customer said, yes, you do. He said, okay, here's what I believe is a great solution for this problem. And he set forth the solution that his company had. When he was done, the client's phone rang. And the client picks it up. This is never a good sign. As the client's talking to the other person, he says, just 1 minute. Puts his hand over the phone, turns to the sales guy and says, you got the deal. What was the difference? The difference was, in the first half of his presentation, he spent all his time trying to make his point of view and never made the customer believe that he actually understood or listened to anything they had to say. But in the second half of the presentation, he went out of his way to make sure the customer understood that he knew what they were trying to say, what they were trying to accomplish, to the degree that the customer felt completely understood. And then he set forth his solution. And the customer was much more open. I mean, when you feel that you're really understood by the other person, you are much more open to what they have to say. And you have a lot more faith in them. And he got the deal. This is one of the best tools you can have in any type of communication you're trying to make. If you're communicating with your spouse, with your children, with a friend, in a friendly conversation, in a heated debate, or in a sales presentation, seek first to fully understand, to proactively listen, and fully understand the other person's point of view, the other person's issues or problems or concerns, before you try to set forth yours. Back when I was running the computer division for a Fortune 100 company, one of the things I used to do is have periodic sales trainings. So I would go into a particular store about an hour before it opened, and I'd host a sales training. And then we'd go back to business. So I'd conduct this sales training this particular day in this particular store, and this one was about listening. So done the sales training, store opens. Store has now been open for about 20 minutes. I'm in the office, and one of the sales guys comes back to me and says, Rory, I'm really having trouble with this customer. I can't seem to close the sale. I asked the customer this, and the customer said X, Y, Z, and then I said, whoa, just a minute. What happened again? Well, I asked the customer this, and they said X, Y, Z, and then I said, no, just a second. Say that again. What happened? Well, I asked the customer this, and then they said X, Y, Z, and that... Oh, they told me what I wanted to know. That was the listening thing you were talking about, right? That was it. See, he was so busy trying to sell his product or service that he didn't stop to listen to the customer. He was looking for a solution that the customer had offered him, but he didn't listen to the customer. He was too busy talking and not listening. And so he didn't even hear that the customer had offered him the solution to close the sale that he was looking for. He could have closed the sale a long time earlier, but he wasn't listening to what the customer had to say. Again, whether it's a friendly conversation, you're trying to persuade somebody to your point of view, you're in a heated debate, or you're in a sales presentation. Either case, the key is to listen, because nobody is going to listen to you until they believe you truly listen to them. How's that saying go? Nobody cares what you know until they know that you care. And one of the ways you can demonstrate that is by making the other person believe that you fully understand their point of view, that you are trying to listen to what they're trying to say. We've probably all been in one of those situations where you're in a conversation with somebody and you can just see, and you may be the person on the right or the left, that one person is trying to make their point and the other person is just chomping at the bit, waiting to speak. They're not even listening to what the other person has to say. They're so busy formulating what they're going to say when it's their turn to speak that they don't hear what's going on. When instead, if they sat back and listened to what the other person had to say and made that person believe that they understood them by repeating back what they said to a degree where they knew they were understood, that other person would be much more open to your point of view. So if there's any one tool that I would strongly recommend that you add to your toolbox, that would be the art of proactive listening. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Again, we got a lot more coming down the pike. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I'll see you next Monday.